Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Dr. Manha English Channel. I'm Manha, and I'm here with the fan-fastic Umer. Hi, Umer. How's it going?
Hi, Manha. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. It's always a pleasure to join you and our wonderful listeners. I'm really excited about today's topic because it's something so many English learners struggle with.
Me too, Umer. Today, we're diving into a very common frustration for beginners. I can understand English perfectly well, maybe even read it without too much trouble, but when it comes to speaking, it's like my tongue gets tied in knots.
Exactly, Manha. It's that feeling of knowing the words are in your head, but they just won't come out of your mouth. It can be incredibly disheartening. You might watch a movie and understand almost everything, but then you freeze when someone asks you a simple question.
It's a bit like being a passive observer versus an active participant. You're absorbing the language, but you're not yet comfortable enough to produce it yourself. But the good news is, it's a very normal stage in the learning process, and it's definitely something you can overcome.
Absolutely. And that's what we're here to talk about today. We'll explore the reasons behind this challenge and, most importantly, provide you with actionable strategies and practical tips to help you bridge that gap between understanding and speaking. We want to empower you to become confident and fluent English speakers.
So, Umer, let's delve into the why. Why do so many learners experience this disconnect between comprehension and production? What are the underlying causes?
Well, Manha, the first thing to recognize is that understanding and speaking are fundamentally different skills. Think of it this way. Understanding is a receptive skill. You're receiving information, processing it, and interpreting it. It's like being a sponge, absorbing the language around you.
That's a great analogy, Umer. It's like when you're reading a book or listening to a podcast, your brain is actively working to decode the words and sentences, but you're not required to generate any language yourself.
Exactly. Speaking, on the other hand, is a productive skill. You have to actively retrieve words and grammar rules from your memory, organize them into coherent sentences, and then physically produce those sounds. It's a much more active process.
It's like the difference between recognizing a beautiful piece of music and actually playing it on an instrument. You might appreciate the melody and harmony, but playing it requires a whole different set of skills and coordination.
Precisely. And in the early stages of learning, we often spend significantly more time on those receptive skills, listening and reading. Classroom settings, for example, tend to focus heavily on grammar and vocabulary, which are crucial, but they don't always provide sufficient opportunities for speaking practice.
That's so true. You might spend hours studying verb conjugations and memorizing word lists, but if you don't actually practice using those words in spoken sentences, you're not developing the necessary muscle memory for speaking.
Another major factor is the fear of making mistakes. It's a very common psychological barrier. Many learners, especially beginners, are terrified of sounding silly, getting the grammar wrong, or being misunderstood. This fear can lead to paralysis, where they simply avoid speaking altogether.
It's understandable. We all want to make a good impression, but with language learning, you have to embrace the fact that mistakes are inevitable. They're not failures, they're valuable learning opportunities.
Absolutely. And often it's also a matter of confidence. You might actually know more English than you think, but you lack the self-assurance to use it. You're hesitant to put yourself out there, to take that leap of faith and start speaking.
It's like standing on the edge of a pool, knowing you can swim, but being afraid to jump. You have to take that plunge to truly develop your skills.
Okay, so let's get down to brass tacks. What practical steps can beginners take to overcome this "I understand but I can't speak" hurdle? Let's equip them with some actionable strategies.
First and foremost, start incredibly small. Don't put pressure on yourself to have long, flowing conversations right away. Begin with the absolute basics. Simple phrases, greetings, and introductions. Hello, how are you? What's your name? Nice to meet you. Master these building blocks first.
That's excellent advice. It's about building a solid foundation. And hand in hand with that, practice consistently, even if it's just for 10, 15 minutes each day. Consistency trumps intensity. Short, regular bursts of practice are far more effective than sporadic marathon study sessions.
Exactly. It's like going to the gym. You wouldn't expect to lift heavy weights on your first day. Start with lighter weights and gradually increase the intensity as you get stronger. Language learning is the same.
And find opportunities to speak wherever you can. If you have access to a language partner, whether online or in person, that's fantastic. But if not, don't despair. Talk to yourself. It might sound silly, but it's incredibly effective.
Absolutely. Describe what you're doing throughout the day. I'm making coffee. I'm reading a book. I'm going for a walk. Narrate your actions. Describe what you see around you. I see a blue car. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. Plan out your day aloud. Tomorrow, I'm going to the supermarket. Then I'm going to meet a friend for lunch.
And this is crucial. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I cannot emphasize this enough. Everyone, and I mean everyone, makes mistakes when learning a language. It's an unavoidable part of the process. In fact, mistakes are incredibly valuable because they highlight areas where you need to improve.
Think of mistakes as feedback. They're telling you, hey, this is something you need to work on. Instead of getting discouraged, embrace them, learn from them, and move on.
And shift your focus from perfection to communication. Your primary goal, especially as a beginner, is not to speak like a native speaker. It's to be understood. Can you convey your message effectively? Can you get your point across? That's what matters most.
Don't get bogged down in trying to use perfect grammar or complex vocabulary. Simple, clear communication is key. Use the words you know, even if they're basic.
And on that note, use simple vocabulary. You don't need to try to impress anyone with big, fancy words. In fact, often simple words are the most effective and the easiest to remember and use.
And listen actively. Pay close attention to how native speakers pronounce words and phrases. Notice their intonation, their rhythm, their pauses. Try to mimic them. This will help you sound more natural and improve your pronunciation.
This is where immersion comes into play. Immerse yourself in the English language as much as you possibly can, even if you are not living in an English-speaking country.
Watch English movies and TV shows. Start with subtitles if you need to, but gradually try to wean yourself off them. Listen to English music and podcasts. Read English books and articles. The more you surround yourself with the language, the more comfortable you'll become with it.
And perhaps most importantly, be patient. Learning to speak a language is a marathon, not a sprint. It takes time, effort, dedication. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Celebrate your small victories and keep moving forward. Let's get even more specific. Let's provide some concrete examples of how beginners can actively practice their speaking skills.
Okay, how about role-playing? This is a fantastic way to simulate real-life conversations. Imagine yourself in different scenarios and practice what you would say.
Excellent idea. For example, imagine you're ordering food at a restaurant. Practice phrases like, I'd like to order a pizza. Can I have a salad, please? How much does that cost? Or imagine you're checking into a hotel. Practice phrases like, I have a reservation under the name Smith. Can I see my room, please? What time is breakfast served in the morning?
Or imagine you're meeting someone for the first time. Practice introductions, asking simple questions, and making small talk. Hello, my name is Manha. It's nice to meet you. Where are you from? What do you do?
Another great exercise is describing pictures. Find a simple picture in a magazine or online and describe what you see. Focus on using basic vocabulary and simple sentence structures. I see a dog. The dog is brown. The dog is playing in the park. The sun is shining.
Or storytelling. Tell a very short and simple story. It could be something that happened to you that day, or it could be a made-up story. Keep it brief and use simple language. Yesterday, I went to the beach. I swam in the sea. I ate ice cream. It was a good day.
And answering simple questions is incredibly helpful. Practice answering common questions about yourself, your hobbies, your family, your job, etc. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is blue. What do you like to do in your free time? I like to read books and listen to music. Where are you from? I'm from India.
And finally, shadowing. This is a powerful technique where you listen to someone speaking English, such as in a movie or a podcast, and you repeat what they say, trying to match their pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. It's like being an echo.
Shadowing helps you get a feel for the natural flow of English conversation, and it can significantly improve your fluency and pronunciation. Start with short phrases and gradually work your way up to longer sentences.
Umer, it's so important to emphasize that this journey takes time, and it's crucial to stay motivated. What words of encouragement can we offer our listeners?
Absolutely, Manha. First and foremost, remember that every single small step you take is progress. Even if you only manage to say one sentence correctly, that's a victory. Acknowledge and celebrate those small wins.
Don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own pace. Focus on your own progress and celebrate how far you've come.
Find a supportive community. Connect with other English learners, either online or in person. Share your experiences, your challenges, and your successes. Encourage each other and learn from each other.
Remember why you're learning English in the first place. What are your goals? Do you want to travel? Do you want to get a better job? Do you want to connect with people from different cultures? Keep those goals in mind and let them fuel your motivation.
And most importantly, believe in yourself. You can do this. It takes time, effort, and persistence. But with practice and patience, you will improve. You will become a confident and fluent English speaker.
Well, folks, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We truly hope that these tips and strategies have been helpful for those of you who understand English well, but are still working on developing your speaking skills.
Remember, don't give up on yourself. Keep practicing, keep pushing yourself, and most importantly, try to have fun with it. Learning a language should be an enjoyable experience.
If you found this episode valuable, please subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends who are also on their English learning journey, and leave us a comment. We love hearing from you. Let us know what you think. Share your own experiences and suggest any other topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and happy learning to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone!